Hey guys, today I'll be doing a comparison video, and that's the comparison is Ruger 1022 10 round rotary magazine couplers, and what I have on the left is the 3 magazine coupler, and it's called Trimag, and the one on the right is the HTA magazine coupler. It's from HTA stands for High Tower Armory, and they're the ones who make this magazine coupler. And we're going to take a look at both of them, compare the two, and show you with you my thoughts. Okay, so this is the, let's take a look at this. That's the coupler without the mags, and this is the coupler without the mags on the HTA. Okay, now as far as warranty, it's about the same. Warranty wise, they both have limited lifetime warranty. I don't exactly remember on the Trimag, but I believe it's pretty much the same. HTA is a limited lifetime warranty, meaning if there's any, as long as you own the magazine coupler, if there's any manufacturing defect, they'll replace it or exchange it or whatnot. I believe it's the same with HTA Trimags as well. And HTA magazine 2 magazine coupler is made in USA. Trimag is also made in USA. You can see it there. They actually wrote it there, USA. I don't know if it shows. But anyway, yeah, they're both made in USA. I know that's kind of important to some of you guys. But obviously the difference is 3 mag versus 2 mags. Build quality, I would say it's just about the same. They're both very sturdy. Once you put it on, it'll stay on. It's not gonna, these torque screw or this straight screw, once it's on tight, it's not gonna come loose on you or anything. Especially with a 1022, there's no recoil, you know, rattling going on, so it's not gonna affect the magazine, of course. They're funny thing is that they're very similarly designed. Now HTA is a little bit more profile because it doesn't have that thing. Sorry, I'm looking at the camera here, camera view window. But anyway, there's that. It sticks out more as opposed to the HTA is a little bit more profile, which I like. But one thing I like about the Trimag is that it's just a straight screw, or if you have like a coin, you could use it. You don't need to have a tool, like an actual tool. I mean, if you have your multi-tool or anything straight, you could pretty much adjust this if you needed to. But interesting thing about the HTA is, now I have a separate review on just this magazine coupler. But so I go into more detail, but real quickly, it comes with a tool to adjust this. So I thought that was kind of cool. And it hides away like right there. Like you couldn't even really tell that that was a tool if you don't look carefully. But yeah, it stores in there. It's in there tight. It's not going to come out as long as you're not constantly putting it on and loosening up the friction tightness here between the, because it's just in there by friction between the plastic and the metal torque screw here. So but then unless you're going to do that all constantly, right now it's in there pretty tight, and I don't really see myself just constantly putting it on and taking it off and putting it on. Once it's on, it's on. So that's the interesting the difference about it. Now here's where they part ways as far as the magazine couplers. You know, one might say, well, why would you even want 2 when you have 3? You know, more is always better, right? One might say that, but not necessarily. First of all, when I got this wasn't around, I believe, or I couldn't find it, because I was looking at different kind of looking for different type of magazine couplers. At the time when I got this, the one other offering from another company was very similar to this, but there was no tightening function. It basically looked like this without this front part, and obviously the torque screw, and basically you have to glue it on. You have to glue to magazines on together with cement or quick cement or whatever glue you want to use. Just didn't like that idea of having permanently attaching something. I'm always like that. So I didn't go for that one. I wanted something less permanent, something that I could always, play around with and change if I wanted to. So I went with these, and I like it. But like I said, where it parts two ways is that having 3 mags makes it a lot heavier to me. Like it's noticeably different. On your rifle, when you have it on, it just seems a lot heavier. Now, if you're bench resting, no problem. If you're shooting bench resting, that it shouldn't be a problem. Obviously, you're sitting, you're at a table and it's bench shooting, so it's not an issue. But because you're not holding that weight. But if you're planking, just walking around, running, sure you're gonna walking around shooting. If you ever do run and gunning kind of stuff like that, you're gonna definitely feel it. Even planking, just if you're planking, you just kind of, if you're just walking around holding your rifle, you do feel the weight. And the other thing about the bench resting shooting thing is I noticed that because it was a Trimag, once I stick it, it might be a training issue too, but once I have this in my rifle, let me put it in my rifle here. Here's my Ruger 10. This is a Ruger 1022 in the Archangel stock. Once in like that, and I'm shooting, and I'm oops, sorry about that. Oops, okay. And then I noticed that when I'm ready to change out the magazine, sometimes I forget which side's empty, so I'll have to stop and take a look and see which one's the loaded one. Cause like, did I turn this way and going this way, or did I turn this way last time? So if you shot this one and you went to the next round, and then there's only one left, one full magazine left, I always forget, like, did I turn this way, or do I turn that way? And then I have to stop and look for the magazine and stuff. So that may be a training issue. Maybe you gotta train to turn one way all the time. But if I forget, that's one thing to be aware of. And here's the thing that where I feel like here's the big difference. Besides the weight, besides the 3 versus 2 magazine. Why I decided to look for another magazine coupler was with this. When I'm holding my rifle, and now of course this isn't bench rest shooting, because then I won't be holding with my support hand. But I noticed, like, if you got one of those hold, like this is really popular nowadays, like, your arm extended in the forward most grip, no problem, not an issue. But if you're like me and you like to hold, you got to have option of holding rifle different ways, and you like to kind of hold up by the magazine well, it's just not very comfortable, especially holding like this. I always notice this poking on my wrist. See that? That could get really annoying. And this is the way I like to hold my rifle. Everyone's different, how they like to hold their rifle and whatnot. But for me, this was getting really annoying. Shooting like this, poking my arm like that all the time. So that's one thing to be aware of about this, the Trimag. So for me, was just additional weight was a lot that I didn't like, and this, of course, when it's in the rifle, poking me like this. So it was, it's a little annoying. That's why I was actually looking for a magazine. Here, let me show you again how it looks like. Yeah. That's what it looks like. So I want a little bit more, less, let's just say hindrance for me. So that's what that looks like. And here's the HTA magazine. Oops. Yeah, it's barely sticking out. But then at the same time, it's nice to have, it gives you a little bit more to grab onto when you're doing mag change. Since this is the 2 mag, I don't really have to worry about which way I'm turning. I release. That's it, like that, and then let me go back to the other view. I'm holding like this. See that? There's nothing poking me on the wrist. So I can hold it like that, like that. So yeah, there it is. That's the major difference there. The weight, the additional weight on the Trimag, and the fact that it was kind of poking me on the wrist. But again, like I said, if you're you know, bench rest shooter, you're just sitting there, just turning this thing, no big deal. But yeah, and I kind of think that this looked better. It looks like a regular magazine. It's kind of coming straight down. This looks a little bit, to be honest, like a little funny looking. It looks like it's not even a drum mag, but it's just kind of, it's got that little thing sticking out sideways. But yeah, so which one do I like better? Which one would I go with? Definitely this one. I mean, I had this. Obviously, I was looking for something different, so I went with this. And now that I got it, and even when I was getting it, I wasn't sure how I was going to like it. But yeah, I did like it a lot. In neither of the magazine, they function well with the rifle. None of this part doesn't really go into the magazine well. It just kind of sits like that. Same thing with this, kind of sticks like that. So none of these protruding things interfere in any way. So both a good mag coupler. My personal choice would be the HTA 2 magazine coupler. That would be my first choice. Not a bad product, but for me, didn't like the thing sticking out. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, please leave below. As always, thanks for watching. Moosecap signing out.